This show is brought to you by Méndez University System and the Culinary Arts program located in Washington, D.C., where you can get an associate degree in culinary arts or a bachelor's degree in culinary management, daytime or evening, in English-only track, or bilingual program, Spanish and English.
Welcome to Café Latino Cooking with Friends. As every week, I invite amazing people to show you different recipes. Today, I have a special guest. It's for an incredible place where you can study bilingual. You can study your bachelor's or master's. It's called Méndez Sistema Universitario. It's a university that was opened in Puerto Rico, and many years ago they brought it here to DC, Virginia, and Maryland. We have our guest today is a good friend of mine. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
She's a chef, and today she's going to cook with us.
Yes, we are.
Millie, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here too.
When I learned about the Méndez Sistema Universitario, it was just in Maryland, and it was just beginning to do different classes, just the bachelor's, no? And it's been growing so much.
Yes. We actually have, it's called, as you mentioned, Méndez University System, because there are 3 universities within the system.
Okay.
And we have associate's degrees, we have bachelor degrees, and we have masters.
Oh, wow.
And then we have over 20 different programs in the main campus in Maryland, and then we have an off-campus in Washington, D.C., where we have the culinary school.
The culinary school.
Yes.
That is the part that you brought it here today.
Yes, exactly.
So when we talk about it, I really want to learn before teaching me a little how to cook this delicious plate.
Okay.
I want to learn about you. What did you study?
Okay, well, I went to university first. I finished my bachelor's. It has nothing to do with culinary.
Oh my God, what did you study?
No, I study French language and literature. But I've always liked to cook and paystry a lot, to do pastries. So I used to do that by myself, and then one day I just decided to go to school. Just to go. I wasn't planning on working in a kitchen or anything like that. So after I finished school, it took me like 2 years. Actually, so I went to visit my former instructor, and he was a pastry chef at a hotel, and he asked me if I wanted to work. And I said, well, I'll try, because when I went there to the pastry shop, I went crazy. I was so excited. So exciting. So I decided to start, and in May, it's going to be 20 years.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's
that
amazing.
I've been working in the
so
kitchen.
Today you want to teach you a delicious food. What are you going to?
Okay, we're going to be working today with a strudel.
A strudel.
And it's a strudel with puff pastry. There's a traditional dough to make the traditional strudel that comes from Austria, from Europe, but it's also done with puff pastry. It's very, very common to see it done with pastry, and that's what we're going to be doing today, with different fillings. It's very versatile.
That's great.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, great. So we have here we have a sheet of puff pastry dough. This is a commercially made puff pastry because it's a very good quality. So it's something that you can acquire in the supermarket.
Okay.
So everything that we're going to do here today, although it might seem a little complicated, it really isn't, and you can find everything in the supermarket.
Perfect.
Obviously, in the school, we do things a little bit at another level.
Of course.
So we go from simple to more complicated. And this is, as I said, very versatile, because this is something that you can serve individually or the whole piece, depending on the occasion. So we start with the puff pastry sheet. And what we're going to do, the whole sheet, we'll just put it in the sheet pan, and we're going to do cuts on both sides.
Okay.
See, I score it. I mark a line from top to bottom, leaving a center part, and then in the corner. So we have 3 parts.
So it have to be the same size, or have to be the middle bigger than the other ones?
Yes, the one in the middle is bigger than the other ones.
Okay.
Because this is where we're going to put the filling.
Okay.
Okay. So we just do diagonal cuts. What we want to do is make sure that we do the same amount of cuts in every side.
Okay.
So we start, see, we just count, see diagonally, maybe an inch, so 2.5 centimeters. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we just count, we have 13, and we do exactly the same thing
Okay.
on the other side. Now, we put the filling, once we have this ready, so we're gonna take this one to the side, and we're gonna keep on going with the one that we have ready here. So see how easy it is?
Okay.
Now we're gonna put the filling here, and
No, just
thank you. Okay.
No, put it here.
So here we have one that we've already made the cuts, as you can see, and we have put the first layer of the filling.
Okay.
So you could do, this is very nice, and students actually love this because you could use many different products as fillings.
Okay.
Today we're going to work with a savory one, and then we have a sweet one already made, and we put a layer of goat cheese.
Okay.
So if you don't like goat cheese, you can use maybe blue cheese, even cream cheese would be perfect with the salmon.
Okay.
And
I love salmon. You brought it my favorite thing in the world.
Great, great, great. So there we have salmon. It's pre-cooked.
Yep.
Because this is going to the oven, it's going to take around 30 minutes until it's very nice and golden brown. So we pre-cook the salmon because we don't want to have it overcooked.
Yes.
But if you make salmon in your house and you have leftovers,
Okay.
the leftovers are perfect for this.
Okay.
Any kind of meat. And you
So
don't know what to do with it, you do a
put it.
strudel.
So what, just to know a little, what did you put it here in the salmon?
Okay, so here we have salmon fillets.
Okay.
We have salt, very simple, the flavors, but perfect for the salmon.
Okay.
So salt, pepper, fresh lemon,
Okay.
shallots. You could also use just regular onions.
Yes.
Garlic, and dill.
Perfect.
Dill,
Okay.
yes, which is the perfect herb. This is dill here
This is the deal. Okay.
to go with salmon.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to
I
work
prefer
on it a
well,
little bit, or I can do it
No,
as
you can
prefer.
do it. You can do it because I don't want it to.
Okay, so we just put the salmon on top of the cheese. I'm gonna help myself a little bit.
Okay.
And we want to be generous with the filling.
Okay.
So in every bite that we take,
You really
there
have.
are all the flavors that we
Yeah.
need there. Yes, I'm gonna put a little bit more of cheese down here. So we put a first layer. We could actually do it only with salmon too, but
Which is
the more we provoke the palate, different levels of flavors,
okay.
the better the experience. So we want to go back to that experience.
Okay.
And if you have a business, you want people to come back.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Because
Yes.
they enjoy
Yes.
what they had. And when you work in the kitchen, you need to start developing, that ability to combine flavors, and you learn that in school,
Yeah.
and then you create your own.
Wow.
So
The
it
salmon
looks
smells
really
delicious.
nice, and it's not cooked yet.
Oh my God. The
Right?
salmon smells delicious. Let me tell you.
Yes. And now, since this is egg wash, so it's just a beaten egg, you can add a little bit of water to it, and it works as a glue.
Okay.
So with a brush, we're gonna apply egg wash to both sides.
Okay.
Not too much so it doesn't slide, but we wanna make sure that there's egg wash all the way. So we're gonna do it.
So it's a complete egg, not only the yellow part.
It's the whole egg,
The
yes,
whole egg, okay.
yes.
Great.
And see, we just brush it all the way. We want to make sure that both sides stick. We're gonna stick like, you're gonna see now how we're gonna work it. That's perfect. And then we're gonna braid it.
Okay.
So it looks really nice like that. So So we have already made the cuts. We're going to take one side and alternating, we're going to take from one side, see, and we keep going.
Oh,
One side and then the other. And it's a beautiful plate to present on a nice platter for a dinner, even for a gift.
Absolutely.
And you can get really creative at home with this.
And the dough can be bought in the supermarket.
Yes, yes, we can definitely buy the dough in the supermarket.
Beautiful.
See, at the end we'll kind of
Close it.
yes.
Okay.
So there, and we're gonna put a little bit more of the egg wash, so we can get that nice shine, and also a little bit of crunch.
Okay.
So that's the role of the egg. In this case, it gives color, and it also helps with the texture.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be nice and crunchy. So we have here different levels, different layers of flavor, and we also have different textures.
Okay.
So that's also given, different experiences to the palate.
Okay.
So the more senses that we get into the experience, the better it feels.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yes.
So it's ready, and the oven, what is the temperature have to be in the oven?
375.
375.
When we have puff pastry that is filled, 375 is the perfect temperature. If we are baking the puff pastry by itself to be filled afterwards, then 400 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. And it depends on the filling, but the least time that this is going to take is 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we're ready to put it in the oven.
So we put it in the oven. Perfect, and we leave it up for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And this is how it looks like
When it's done.
when it's done.
Exactly. In this case, what we did, so you can have an idea of a different filling. As we said at the beginning, we have the savory one with the salmon, and then this is the sweet one.
Okay.
This is a cherry filling. Cherry filling, we could use a commercial one, or we can make it from scratch.
Okay.
And we could do this with fresh apples too, that, when they go in the oven then. You can use pears.
So any kind of fruits.
As long as they are not soft fruits that become soft with the heat, like the berries, they're not good for this. It could be a berry filling, a strawberry filling, a commercial one.
That's ready that you buy it.
Exactly.
Ready to put it on. Okay.
But not fresh berries, because they get too watery and too soft, so it doesn't work.
Okay.
And so we're gonna slice this.
And then we are going to have a break, and then we are going to eat it and
Great.
share more.
That's the best part.
This is the best part.
So we're gonna slice it. We're gonna do it diagonally too. Let's say almost 2 inches.
So that
And
one will be.
let me do this. So we clean the knife with every cut, so we don't have that.
Oh, look at that! I didn't know that. So this one will be delicious, like with ice cream, no?
Oh, yes. See, you could have this right off the oven. Just give it a couple of minutes for that first heat to come out. And then you can eat it warm. So also, depending on the filling that it has.
Yes.
And if you put a ice cream on top, I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah, delicioso. Just delicioso.
Yes.
You'll say delicious.
Or whipped cream. And there, if you do that, you're gonna have the texture from the filling, the texture from the puff pastry, and so there are different textures there. Then you're gonna have different colors, so you see it's nice to look at it. And then if you serve it warm with ice cream on top, you're gonna have 2 temperatures.
Okay.
So it's really, a very, very enriched experience.
Oh wow.
From something so simple, we don't think about that.
Yeah.
But that's what catches when we eat something.
Okay.
All those experiences that we get. And that's something that you learn too.
So this is what you teach the students, that the food is beyond just preparing the food, no? The presentation. And
Yeah, there's much more to it. that we as diners probably don't think about it, but the people who work in the kitchen, who we prepare, they really think about that, and they make everything nice for the guests.
Yes, look delicious. Okay,
so let me just. Then we
can you just separate it for a moment to see how it looks like? Look at that. It's just so many things that you have to learn at culinary school. Looks so easy to prepare this delicious strudel. We are going to sit down for a moment. We are going to talk more about the culinary school in DC, and we will come back with you. We are here in Café Latino Cooking with Friends.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome here to Café Latino Cooking with Friends. Today, we have people from Méndez University System, especially the culinary school. Thank you again for coming.
You're welcome.
It looks so easy and simple to do this delicious strudel, and it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
And I would like to talk to you about the school. Tell me a little bit more, so the people will learn about the school.
Okay.
So, the school have been here in this area for how many? Do you have idea for the school?
Yes.
Méndez system.
For 3 years.
For 3 years
here
in
DC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, and the idea is to prepare. Do you do the classes in English, in Spanish, or just in Spanish or in English?
Yes. Well, actually, in the Culinary Arts program, we have the bilingual program, and we also have an English-only track.
Oh, wow.
In Culinary Arts. In all the other programs, it's bilingual, but we also have the English track in the Culinary Arts program.
Okay, so people had us. Why people would go to take a bilingual? Because Spanish is the first language?
Yes, most of them, probably all of them, Spanish is their first language. And the idea behind having a bilingual program is that we want to graduate professionals that are, that master their technical vocabulary, the technical vocabulary from their profession in both languages.
Okay.
Because we are in the United States, where we speak English, obviously, and but there's a large Latino population, and we need Spanish-speaking professionals.
Okay.
So in the program, they take 1 week, they take English classes, and 1 week in Spanish. And the content of the classes remains the same, it's continuous, but the language changes. And it works very well. And it changes all over the school. So when it's English week, we do everything in English, and when it's Spanish week, we do everything in Spanish.
That's incredible. So tell me how looks a day for you. You arrive and do you have all the ingredients, or how you planning your today at school?
Well, we have all the classes. We have what we call modules. So the workshops, as we call them, you have everything stated there. So you have your objectives for the class, and you do your plan for the class, the recipes you're going to work for, and when the students get to class, the ingredients are in the classroom, but they have to measure, to weight. So we read the recipes. That's part of what we call, in the kitchen jargon, it's called the mise en place. It's a French term, so everything is where it should be, in its place. And so we study the recipe, and then they start to prepare the recipes. And obviously the facilitator, the chef facilitator, is there to explain, to give examples, to do demos, and to guide the students through the recipes.
Wow.
So it's not just only go and do a recipe, you need to master certain techniques.
Okay.
So when you finish, it's not just that you open a book and you did a recipe. You master techniques, you know the vocabulary, you know your ingredients, you know the function of the ingredients, so you know how how to change, how to modify a recipe, how to create from your own experience. So it's very different when you go through school.
Yes.
And then within the culinary arts program, they take 2 baking classes.
Okay.
And those are the ones I teach.
Okay.
Yes, and the students that come from the kitchen, they have never worked with sweets. Their experience is amazing because, I mean, when you start doing breads for some simple ingredients, but you do breads and then you do cakes and you do layer cakes and you do European desserts, and then they also take garde-manger, so that's another French term. And the garde-manger, they do everything that is from the cold part of the kitchen. So they would do terrines, soups, salads, specialties, sandwiches. It's a very complete class too. And they take international cuisine, 1 and 2. They take food preparation. So the basics, how to cut the vegetables, those really nice vegetables that you see in fine dining restaurants with the different cuts. And you learn that in culinary school.
Oh my God, this is
it's very exciting. Yes.
It's amazing. And then the students, when they finish the school, they can work in restaurants, no?
Yes, yes. Actually, part of the program, they need to do 350 hours, an internship. And we look for the place where they're going to do their internship, and we try to match, obviously the student interest with the place. And so we have a variety of places, hotels, restaurants, large fine dining caterings, which are like small hotels too. And so they do 350 hours.
Okay.
And our experience has been, and that is wonderful for us because that speaks very well, they have been offered jobs where they did their internships. So that's the best, testimony that you could have. And if a student has experience already in the kitchen, there's a possibility also to convalidate the experience for the practicum hours, for the internship hours. So that's another benefit for the people who comes already from the industry. So we have students who work in the kitchen for the first time in school, and we have students with 10 and 15 years of experience.
Oh, that's awesome.
But they want to get a degree because in the kitchen, you could have a lot of talent, but when you have a degree, that's like when we were talking about the flavors, that's another level.
Another level.
And other doors open, and it makes a big difference.
So that means that it's a great opportunity for people that always dreaming to learn to cook, no?
Exactly.
It's not an age, like you have students that are very young and older people, or it's
yes.
You have a variety of ages?
We have a variety of ages. Actually, requirements to get into the school, all you need to have it's a high school diploma or an equivalent, a GED. And if you are younger than 26, your vaccine certification. That's it. It doesn't matter anything else. You come as you are, and we take you from there. and we have students right off high school, and our actually average student is 30-something years old. Wow. Yes. So we have people from all levels and walks of life, and that's what makes it so wonderful and rich in school.
So this school is located in DC. Can you tell me where is located the school?
Yes, it's in the Carlos Rosario International School.
Okay.
We are in the same building. Very close to the Rhode Island Metro Station in Washington, D.C. Yes, you can actually walk from the Rhode Island Metro Station, but we have parking in the campus, and we have another another parking off campus. And so it's very, very easy to get to the school, and we have amazing facilities. I have to really tell you. I
cannot wait to visit it.
Yes, our kitchens are really state of the art.
So we will to serve a little piece, and we almost finish our show. But look at how beautiful look like. Oh my God, this is just gorgeous.
Yes,
it's
the
like,
colors are very nice too.
They're really gorgeous. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we're looking forward to learn and continue. Give opportunities to people like you to come to Café Latino and learn. So during the final of the show, there will appear the webpage. And what is the webpage for?
It's swaham.edu.
Okay.
It's suagm.edu, and then / you could do capital area campus or DC campus.
DC campus.
Yes.
So many people maybe will be very interested to learn more, and so we are going to enjoy this delicious cake, and it's cherry. Did you prepare the cherry?
Yes. This is made from scratch.
From the scratch, it sounds
yes.
delicious. Well, we come in the final of the show, and this is the part I love it because I had the opportunity to taste the flavors of this that the chefs come in and do it. And today we have a Puerto Rican women, by the way.
Yes.
Muchísimas gracias por haber venido.
Gracias.
And we're looking forward to see you in another show.
Thank you.
And Café Latino Cooking with Friends is a place where chefs, friends, and anybody who wants to come to share with me will be here. We're looking forward to see you in the next show, and have a wonderful rest of the month.
This show is brought to you by Anna G. Méndez University System and the Culinary Arts Program located in Washington, D.C., where you can get an associate degree in culinary arts or a bachelor's degree in culinary management, daytime or evening, in English-only track, or bilingual program, Spanish and English.